Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of My Car Shop, episode 10 in the 70 Challenger project that we've been working on now for a little over a year. Hope you enjoy the show.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
Okay, so I'm here with the 70 Challenger and the 440 for the 70 Challenger. And while I would like to say that we're going to be dropping the motor in the car today, that's not realistic. The old wide block 318 is still in there. That needs to come out. The entire frame, of course, if you follow this project, needs to be rebuilt from basically the back of the driver's or the front seats all the way back. The roof is fairly well in shape now. There's obviously more work to do. Got a couple more dents I need to take out. A little bit of fill, of course, is going to have to be done on that, but I opted to fix the roof, if you remember. But today what I want to do is get the fender off of the passenger side. The one on the driver's side is on there, but it's not bolted on. I'll probably take this door off. I'm going to get the deck lid off and get ready to start doing the fabrication work on the car this winter. It's one that obviously I've wanted to work on for a while. I haven't been able to. You know, I could be working on the 47 Ford and getting that grille painted, which is on my list, but I decided that I wanted to do something that was fun, and today this is what I felt like doing, and that is really one of the joys of having as many cars as I do, is that if I'm getting a little tired of working on something, I can just jump ship and work on something else. Another reason why I'm not working on the 47 Ford is because I realized I'm not going to have this car on the road this year. Here it's already October with COVID and everything else that's been going on. It's difficult to get into the DMV to get anything done, and it needs so much work yet that I just decided to wait and work on it through the winter, do some more paint work on it as I have time, but I really want to focus on the 70 Challenger. So I'm going to give you a little shop tour in case you didn't catch the last episode, and to kind of show you where things are at here, and then we'll get into getting into this. Okay, as you can see, I've changed things around if you didn't catch the last episode, and I have the Oakland and the Challenger over here on the north side of the shop, side by side, perpendicular to the center of the shop, and I've got the 68 here, of course, and the 47. You'll also notice the door back there that I showed you last time about where the 74 is and my storage. I still have some things that I need to move back into storage. The 440 is going to go over there where the 318 is, right underneath the exhaust fan, and a few other things here like some seats. My bride suggested that I hang those up from the ceiling, which I think is a great idea, get them out of the way. So I'll be hanging them over here in the center of the shop so they're not in the body shop part of the shop. And my dad and I have been talking about getting after the Oakland again and getting that engine together. I need to do a little bit more work to the cam, and then we'll be ready to do that. And of course, I need to get the generator starter, or just the generator, up to the electric shop and get it gone through so that that's ready to go. Okay, so get ready to take this deck lid off, and just a couple things I thought I would mention before I do that. I have been working on a lot of things behind the scenes here. Actually, today even I have a dump truck of gravel coming to redo the driveway out to the barn from the driveway so that I can get in and out of here a little better in the winter. It's a little soft. I talked to a local garage, a friend of mine, about fixing the flywheel on the 73 Swinger, so that's going to be happening soon. And then another thing that's happening is, if you saw the last episode, my buddy John, 66 Belvedere, he and I talked the other day, and he wants a little help doing the body work. He's got a fender that needs some fabrication, so he's going to bring that over to me, and I'll do that fabrication work in exchange for, he's going to cover the materials, but I'm going to have him help me pull the motor out of this and maybe do some other work as I need some help. So I'd rather do a labor swap than have him pay me to do that and then pay him to help me. It just works out good for both of us. So there's some of this stuff I just can't do by myself, or don't want to do by myself anymore. With age comes wisdom, I guess. And so it'll be nice to just have him come around. I've had some other plans that I wanted to do, but I think this is going to be the best scenario. So anyway, let's get this deck lid off of here. that. This is probably the first episode I've done since I've reformatted the show. So that's kind of nice to have a Challenger episode here that's going to be in the new format. I'm not so sure if this thing is any good or not. It's pretty rough. Anything's fixable if you want to spend the amount of time, but it's really rusty up in here where that lip comes over. What's surprising to me, and this is why I'm tempted to fix it, the actual lip of the deck lid itself is pretty good. It's the inner lip that's shot, so it might not be out of the question to come in here and snip this out and slip a new piece up in there and repinch it back together and weld it. So we'll see. I don't know. That's not my focus right now, obviously. Somebody had added the luggage rack for this, and you can tell here that when they did it, it isn't exactly a factory hole punch there. I don't know what the heck they were thinking, but that's the way they did it. So it is what it is. Excuse me. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so of course there's always an issue with a car this old and rusty. The weld nuts or the cage nuts that are on the holding the fender on, only a couple of those bolts came out. The rest of them broke off, and that cage is down there just spinning. The problem is there's nothing to grab onto. I was reaching up underneath, so I think the best scenario is going to be just to cut the head of the bolts off on the top and try not to damage the fender at all, if at all possible. That just seems to be the simplest way. I thought about torching, but with this sheet metal as thin as it is in a few spaces, with the sheet metal as thin as it is in a few places, I really am reluctant to get the blue wrench out and go after it that way. So I'm just going to get the cutoff wheel and just work on that a little bit and cut. There's only 3 of them up here, I think. 4 out of 7 up here that I need to do that with. So I'm going to try one and see how that goes. I think that's going to be my best case scenario here. Okay, so you may have noticed that I stopped there for a minute and I was looking at the windshield. The reason for it was because grinding stuff up on the glass will actually embed into the glass and ruin it. And I wanted to be sure that my memory was correct that this windshield needs to be replaced. It's got all kinds of wiper scratches on it over here. And for a car this high end that I'm going to be doing, I'm obviously not going to want to use that windshield, so I really didn't care. But I wanted to double check that and make sure my memory was correct. So, okay, I've got them all ground down now. I just need to go get a punch and pop them out and then get the rest of the bolts out of here. Okay, so got the air chisel out here now, and we're going to just pop those bolts out of there, hopefully. Okay, and now we have the washer bottle here, and you'll notice it's a bit damaged, but it is the factory original piece, so I want to be sure to be gentle with it. Get that out of the way. There we go. Now I can get at the bolts down here that I need to get at. And I think they're 7/16, maybe they are 1/2 inch, I'm not sure. Oh, they're 1/2 inch, so I'm just going to bend that back out of the way a little bit to get at it for now. Be quicker than going and getting a another socket. That was correct. The other one is a 7/16 there. So, okay, we got our 7/16 socket here now. Did miss a bolt. So it may seem a little tedious. Why am I showing, taking out every bolt on this thing? But a lot of people don't have any understanding at all of what it takes to do stuff like this. And so I'm trying to do a good job of balancing for those who are, really into this and those who have never seen it before. I think that should do it. Still feels like I'm missing somewhere. Not sure what's going on here. I don't recall that there was any other bolts. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I wonder if maybe the strut rod is still on there. Nope, it's not. Obviously forgetting something. Or missing something. No, I'm not. I think it's literally rusted down right in here. And pulling up on this, and I'm not seeing it move, so I'm gonna let's try a screwdriver first and just go under there. If that doesn't work, we'll get the air chisel and see how that goes. This is exactly a case in point why I am not doing this in just time lapse. Just to show some of the challenges on a car that is this rusty, what you can run into in trying to get these things apart. That's where it is. Yep. Okay, yeah, see there was some glue in here from the factory. I think. I don't think this fender's ever been off the car since it was put together new. So again, that's why I do this in just kind of a real time thing in a lot of ways, because it helps you see some of the challenges and the things you have to think through, and of course my experience from doing this for 40 years. So there you go. Okay, so the last things now we need to deal with, and this one's going to be the worst, is there's one bolt that goes down this way. It's a stud with a nut on the bottom that I'm going to have to reach up underneath and get. And then there's 2 in this way down here. So I'm probably going to do this in time lapse because this could take a while, and it's pretty tedious work. So. As I mentioned, it was a bugger. I think I got it. I think that's it. Yep. I just got to push the car back a little bit and get that fender off there. Not too far, just a little bit there. My wheel hammer. sure where it's going. Should be to that light. Now there it is. It's stuck down the bottom of the bucket. Come on, get out of there. Can't quite get a hold of it. There we go. Well, sweet victory in Jesus. We got it. Whew. Well, my air hose is stuck in the fender trim. Woo-hoo! There. All right, both fenders are off now, and that's a good job done. It's a job I dreaded doing, but I'm glad I got it done. So there's two reasons. Obviously, I want to work on the fenders at some point, or replace them if I can find some that are decent. I've obviously got a big job of work to do on this car with all of the fabricating that needs to be done, and so there's that. But the main reason I want to get these off of here is it just gives me a lot more room in front of the car. So that was the main reason. I can now push the car closer to the wall about a foot, and if I take my time and bend this front radiator support back where it belongs sometime, not now, that'll give me a couple more inches even, but that's just going to give me more room to work. So the next step now I'm going to say on this car probably is I want to get this motor out of here. That's not going to be today's project. I've accomplished what I need to accomplish. I've got some phone calls I need to deal with, and my gravel guy should be here soon to get that driveway done. But we've made good progress, so let's wrap this up for today. Good job done. Doesn't seem like much, but that's a big step forward for me. It's a big step towards getting me to be able to get this car, get the motor out, get the rear end out, and start working on that sheet metal working on the floor pans. The door needs to come off yet, but that's a couple of bolts that'll pop right off. I'm not going to do that today. I want to think that through a little bit. Make sure I don't need anything for alignment purposes here before I take it off. The door is not aligned properly anyway because I put the door on the car when I got it. It was missing one, and I just happened to, my buddy had one, so I bolted it on there when I got it home. But anyway, it's something you have to be very careful of when you're doing chassis work, that things don't twist. So I got to start thinking through now bracing, that kind of stuff. Get the rear end out from underneath of it, get the motor out of it, as I said, get it up in the air so I can really start working on it. So that's going to do it for this episode of My Car Shop. We appreciate it. If you have not, please subscribe to the channel. That really benefits us, and it will allow me to give you more things as we gain more followers on the channel. Also, hit the bell when you subscribe to make sure that you receive all the notifications about the episodes. If you're not following us on Instagram or on Facebook, please do that as well. Facebook.com/MyCarShop, Instagram.com/MyCarShop. You know how it's spelled. Hey, all right, guys and gals, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And one more thing, if you remember, rock on.